More now on this murder suspect, Luigi Mangione, that we've been talking about. The fact that today he fought his extradition back to New York in a courtroom in Pennsylvania. Once he gets back here to New York, he'll face the second-degree murder charges that we were discussing a few minutes ago. They denied him bail at the hearing in Pennsylvania. And, of course, that's the area, that county that he was apprehended in yesterday. It was recognized at a local McDonald's. And here with us here at our New York studios, the NYPD's Chief of Patrol, John Chell. Thank you, John.
Sure,
Chief, we appreciate you coming in. Fighting extradition, is that mess you guys up here?
Well, no, that's his right. A judge will rule on that. He will be here in a courtroom sooner than later. But in this time, the detectives still have a lot of work to do, post-arrest, if you will.
Okay.
They still have a lot of leads to still go on, work on the phone, the computer from yesterday. Got to get search warrants for that. So still a lot of arrest work to do in terms of what was he doing here for 10 days.
Right. He had a laptop at McDonald's, supposedly, right? That's what he had with him in the McDonald's. So.
Right. So a laptop at McDonald's, there'll be a search warrant for that to go through it, to see what's in there. So just a lot of investigative work to go through. But the hard part is done. He is off the street. A nation and a city rests. Give some family a little closure, the Thompson family,
sure,
who the detectives represent right now. And now we have time to put this all together, exactly what happened and why.
And what's the importance of that? You have video evidence and a lot of other evidence that about the crime that's committed. We saw it on the streets of New York, but you're trying to build up, as you say, the 10 days prior and maybe even before that. What does that do for the case?
Well, it's the strongest probable cause to have, so if he goes to trial with this, we don't lose. We have to be perfect. Detectives, if you think about 5 days ago, 6 days ago, all the evidence they had to track, the phone, the video, the ballistics, the forensics, the cab. Finding video on the street is a laborious task. It's old school detectives putting video together. And when you really think about it, old school detective work, get the picture, give it to the public, ask for help, and an employee and a customer from McDonald's see it. They see something, they say something.
They did.
They make the phone call, right.
What'd you make of that at McDonald's? I mean,
this is what we asked the public to do. And then a rookie officer, Officer Fry from Altoona.
He was on the job 6 months, right?
6 months. He comes quickly. He does his investigation. And think about it. He's approaching a murderer who has a gun on him.
Right.
He did a great job. So the whole collective system. This perpetrator, smart, University of Penn, he wasn't that smart. He wasn't smarter than NYPD detectives. He wasn't smarter than the media. And he certainly wasn't smarter to the employees and the customers in McDonald's.
So the big break in this case was getting his face. Is that right? You think on camera? His actual face?
Absolutely. And then you couple that with the picture from the cab.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier because you could see his eyes, even though he had a mask on.
The eyebrows stand out. So collectively, again, old school, boots on the ground detectives, asking the public for help. And the public came through, and we take a murderer off the street that the whole nation, the whole city was really worried about.
Because it was such a brazen, I mean, you know, right outside the Hilton, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning or just before, this guy gets shot, and we see it on video. I mean, that's, yeah, it did have the city shaking.
Horrible act. He planned it out. He had a ghost gun with it looks like a silencer.
Right.
He's all dressed up. It was a targeted attack, a targeted murder. And it causes everyone, like, it's really sad to see, but the detectives, the community, everyone did a great job. The media, thank you, did a great job.
That helps getting at that stuff.
It's all a collective law enforcement effort to take this person.
Pause you for a moment. This is him coming out. This is Claudine a minute or two ago. Okay, so that looks like it paused on the screen, but we showed him on the way in. I don't know if you saw that earlier. He was trying to get at some sort of a message. I was yelling something, and the cop in Pennsylvania said,
he saw the cameras, and you know, obviously he's not stable. You know, he's a murderer.
Right.
His ideologies appear to be very twisted in what he was fighting for.
Have you seen that manifesto, letter, whatever it is?
I've heard about the manifesto, and again, that's another part of the post-arrest we talk about. Our detectives will go through it a fine-tooth comb. Our intelligence bureau plays a role in this. Is there a bigger picture here? Not saying there is.
Right.
But all this has to be vetted out to make sure.
Talk about how you guys do it to the extent that you can, because, you know, years ago, you said it was old-fashioned police work, and it was, but it's enhanced by the new technology because years ago we didn't have all these cameras. How does that work? So you're trying to literally piece it together so it's almost like a movie where...
So great question. And this has been the bread and butter of the New York City Police Department, law enforcement across the country. It's called what you're getting as video compilation.
Okay.
Getting video, all the video out there now, ring cameras, businesses, you put it all together in a compilation.
Not just yours, in other words,
not everyone's, and you put it in a big almost movie, And it really came about during COVID when people were wearing masks. You had
Right.
to track a lot of video to wait till someone take that mask off.
Right.
So it's the bread and butter of the New York City.
But when it's all put together and edited, could you watch it almost? You'd almost see him riding his bike.
It's like a movie, and
Yeah.
then from that video, you start looking at clothing. You compare it to maybe social media. You compare it to if he had a cell phone. A lot of I don't give too many secrets here.
No, I know, but we don't have cameras.
It's layered.
In the park, for example, in Central Park, or we do have some on the entrances and that kind of thing. Or?
The majority of the park is cameraed, so they
Oh,
know
it is?
they know what exit he came out of the park. They followed him to the hotel. They see the cab.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.